said, Dale Shackleford coming up here in just a moment to speak on his relationship with Jim DaRin as we continue our spotlight on Jim DaRin in his birthday month. And, of course, we will speak with Dale Shackleford on his thoughts on the current Syracuse 2020-2021 squad, sports and coronavirus, and what life is like coaching again, and now coaching down in the state of Florida where he moved during coronavirus this past year. So plenty to talk about with Dale Shackleford, and in hour number 2, the Fantasy Football Power Hour comes your way, and very excited to have that here with you. So with all of that being said, let's take a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back with Mr. Shackleford right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets life. And we want to thank Cafe Kubal again for being our studio partner. I want to thank all the companies within our community for all that they do to help support Central and Upstate New York and beyond.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening, you're watching on Facebook Live, on facebook.com/livenowdt, and you're tuning in, listening and watching on YouTube Live, on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Very excited about the opportunity that we have right now, and that is because I get to speak with one of my good friends that I've had here for the last few years that has been a true blessing to my life. I appreciate him more than I'll ever be able to tell him, and he means a heck of a lot to me. I miss him like crazy up here in Central New York, but I look forward to hopefully getting the chance to see him soon down in Florida, and that is my good friend and Syracuse Orange basketball alum from 1975 to 79, Mr. Dale Shackleford. Shaq, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be on your show and to hear your pleasant voice. I know you guys got a lot of snow, but it's cold here in Florida for me. It's right now it's in the mid-50s, and I've got my Syracuse sweatshirt and sweatpants on.
Well, I'm happy that you're, sporting that Syracuse. I know you always are, wherever you go. Now, I know there's a lot of snowbirds down there, and in general, Syracuse fans seem to travel all over the place and find you no matter what nook and cranny you're in. How often does somebody say something to you about Syracuse?
Well, quite often. I go to a coffee shop here in Boca, which is have a lot of Syracuse fans there. A friend of ours, and you probably know him. He chimes in on your show sometimes. Alan Israeus.
Yeah.
He's here. I talk to him all the time, and every now and then, there's people through the basketball circle where I'm coaching. They know of Syracuse, and some of them have seen me play at Syracuse.
Yeah, so it's an awesome thing to have that connection, really, wherever you go. And speaking of connection, the first couple days here to start off February, the official birthday month of Jim DaRin, I had the opportunity to do a special with Jim, and obviously he played football at Jamesville DeWitt, played at Syracuse, and then after a tragic accident from Miller Brewing Company, after that changed his life, he had to obviously fight for his life, and his football days ended, and since then he has found a beautiful, wonderful wife, and two amazing children have come his way through all of this, and his friendships have lasted and continued and endured, and he has truly created some amazing life for himself. You have a relationship with Jim, and I know that you were watching these last couple days to the special that we had with Jim and with Jim Jerome, as well as Jim's brother, Tom DaRin. What can you say about Jim DaRin and your relationship with him?
Well, I know when he was playing football and lacrosse at Syracuse, and actually I was working construction in Syracuse day of his accident. And it was a tragedy for all of us, to lose a close friend and someone who is part of our sports family in such a situation. But my thing is that Jim fought strong, he fought hard. He's a strong-willed person, and I feel that there was nothing I could do for Jim to make his life any better, other than just to be his friend and to be there if he ever needed something or needed someone to talk to, or just actually what we did a few times is go have a beer together, and those things will never go away. Unfortunately, I moved on and went to play ball in Europe and stuff, and we had lost contact for a while. But now through social media, we've reconnected and everything, and through you, we've reconnected. So hopefully we can continue our friendship.
And having that friendship, you said, you lost Jim DaRin on the field, but you didn't lose him in life in general. Just to speak on that, the fact that it's tough to have a brother end his time at Syracuse early, but once a brother, always a brother. And I think the just to go into that a little bit deeper, that Syracuse may have lost him as a player, but we didn't lose the man, and obviously he's here today to tell his story.
Yeah, and we're always going to be family. There's a lot of guys that we haven't seen. We just had a couple of alumni pass away recently. I don't know if you knew that Marty Burns had a bad bout with COVID. He was in the hospital for 7 weeks, and we've been keeping in touch through our connections with group text and everything like that. Trying to support each other, and it's a tough situation when you can't get to someone, but as I said, through social media and the phone contacts, we're able to communicate, and with a lot of prayers and a lot of support from his family and his ex-teammates, Marty has pulled through, and he's recovering well, and hopefully he'll be back to 100%. It's a long process, but hopefully it'll happen soon.
Yeah, Marty Burns, obviously our prayers and our well wishes up to God go out to him on a speedy and full recovery, and that he, has plenty of life left to live and plenty of memories to make. With Marty going through that, with Floyd Little passing away, how have you handled this past, year and some change as, Floyd was fighting cancer, Marty's fighting coronavirus? This has been This past year has challenged us a lot. It let us know that breakups don't stop. Normal death due to old age doesn't stop. Cancer doesn't stop. Job loss and changes and things going on like that, they don't stop. So, Corona's happening, plus life in general on the normal is happening, and it's caused a lot of adversity. How have you navigated through it, and how have you handled the news of Marty fighting Corona still to this day and Floyd Little passing away?
Well, it's tough because when we talk of Floyd Little, we talk of Marty, Jim DaRin, and also we lost another Syracuse basketball alumni in Richard Cornwell. He just passed away from cancer also. So I mean it's tough. When you lose a brother like that. You think what has my life been, or what have I done in my life to deserve to be here longer than some of these guys, or be as healthy as some of these guys should have been. And you just keep pushing forward and trying to do your best. And I think that's what's motivated me a little bit to get back involved with coaching with kids and stuff like that. When I moved to Florida, I connected with Bernie Fine, and he introduced me to a great group of coaches here in Bend that was more than willing to give me the opportunity to be part of their programs. And so far, it's worked out very well.
Speaking here with Dale Shackleford, Syracuse Orange men's basketball alum and one of my close friends. Played on the team from 75 to 79. And, Dale, like you said, you wonder, how am I on this earth and some of these people are not? I have to go to, they say if you live long enough, you're going to see some of your friends pass away. You're going to see some of the close people in your life pass away. If you live long enough and you make a good enough impact on this world, you're going to be here when some people are not. How have you handled that in the self-reflection of that?
Well, I just keep moving forward and trying to do good. I've been fortunate enough to be with Crystal, who she does a lot for people that are trying to get into treatment for drugs and mental health and that. And I've learned a lot through her that people are going to be themselves, and sometimes people need someone else to be stronger than them and to lean on them. And if I could be there for someone to help them in any way, I'm more than willing to do that. I try to teach all these kids that I have in these basketball programs that there's more to life than just the sport, and you have to be a friend to your teammates, and you have to be there for your teammates, because you never know what life is going to bring you.
Yeah, and Jim DaRin actually just chimed in here on our live feed on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. I want to let people know you can write to us on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT in the live feed. You can become a member for free and write to us on the internet radio feed on mixlr.com/WakeUpCallDT. You can also write to us on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT during the show, and we implore you to do so. And this brought tears behind my eyes, and I just had this conversation this week. I said, when I really care about something or something moves me, I get tears that start to well up right behind my eyes. And that happened as you were talking. You said you'd be willing to do anything for anybody to help out where you can. Right before you said that, Dale, Jim wrote on the live feed on Facebook, "On a morning like this, when I returned to Syracuse after I was paralyzed, Dale would shovel a path out to my car so I could get up to campus." I expect nothing less from you, but what do you think about the fact that Jim DaRin wanted to share that this morning?
Well, it was nothing for me, to do that for someone who is I consider a very good friend of mine, and it's not something that you're looking to get a pat on the back for or anything like that. It's just being there for a true friend, and that's what it's all about. It's nothing that was anything that was out of my day or out of my way or anything that I expected in return for it. It's it's just being there and doing for a friend. And he needed to get out to his car, needed a way to do it, and to sit there for hours to wait for the university to shovel out or whatever. He may not have made an appointment or something. So just to be able to be there and to lend a hand, that's what brothers are all about.
And speaking here with Dale Shackleford on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Cubal studios. Dale, Jim bringing up that story jogs the story to me. It's actually a story I told recently here. And that was when you and I were doing an event together, because you and I did a live on-site, on-location basketball show for the better part of, I think, 4 years. And before you, actually all the way up until you moved here during coronavirus. And when we did that show, we were at the Orange Crate Express, the old Ugly Duckling. And for whatever reason that day, I think I was stressed and run down. I got really dizzy. I got sick to my stomach, and I couldn't sit. And they had an upstairs area. Nobody was in the upstairs bar. And I went over there and I laid down. And then we called my parents. And my parents came out, and you could have left. You weren't paid to be at the event. You came to the event out of the goodness of your heart. You were doing it for me, a friend. And so, you could have left. You could have done anything else. And I think you ended up staying there for at least like 2.5 hours. You went and got my banner. You went out to the car. You got all my Wake Up Call t-shirts. The bar started to get busier and busier. Ironically, it was like our most successful event we had done out there, and we didn't even get to do a show. You handed out t-shirts to everybody. You asked me if I had business cards. And then you came up and you checked on me and made sure that I was okay. And then you helped me walk out to the car and helped me with my equipment and was there with my family. And it was just my mom, my dad, and you. And then we held up the banner when I was feeling a little bit better, and we all took pictures together with the community. I told you that day that I knew you were my friend, but I had I had the notion that you and I were close, but that moment in my life, I'm like, he had a million different ways to leave. He's not paid at this event. He's not, we're not even doing the event. It's a Saturday. He can go do whatever he wants to do. I believe it was snowing outside. You could have just literally said, well, Dan, the event's not going on. Thanks for nothing, and walked away. You stayed there for hours, checking on me, taking care of me, promoting my business. And it was in that moment that I said to you, you're not just my friend, you're a great friend. And, I really solidified that you're part of my family. I have to thank you for that, and I'll thank you the rest of my life for that. But Dale, that to me shows the character of who you are, and I will never, ever forget that day. And it was actually out in the Manlius area, ironically, but I'll never forget that day that you did so much more than anybody really had to do.
Well, there's two things there, Dan. The show must go on, and as in sports, next man up. And unfortunately, you weren't feeling that well, and the show had to go on in one fashion or another. And there's no way I could leave you in that situation where you had people coming in expecting to to see a show, to see you, to do things that I couldn't stay and make sure that something was done. And I enjoyed it, and if I had to do it again, I'd do the same thing all over again. And I know for a fact that if I was in that situation, you'd do the same for me. So it's nothing again as I'm looking for a pat on the back or anything like that. But that's what friends are for. That's what brothers become, an extension of each other. And I was very happy that you had me part of your show.
Well, and I think the thing is, Dale, is the show goes on, and you're down in Florida, and I'm up here, and you bring people in and you do stuff. But the reality of it all is, my rockin' football has been Rob Drummond, and my rockin' basketball has been you when we do these shows. And then outside of that, obviously friends, more so brothers, has been there. What I'm getting at is I miss you. I'm ecstatic for you. I'm ecstatic for you and the lady. I know you got your dog. I know you're down in Florida. I know you're coaching. But dang it, a little bit selfish in me. It kind of stinks that I can't just call you up and hang out with you up here in Syracuse.
Well, my door is always open if you're ever coming down to Florida. I'm not sure if I'll get back up to Syracuse anytime soon. I would love to come back up. Hopefully the COVID situation will ease up a bit and everything. And, Syracuse will have their basketball camp this summer. I definitely would come back for that. And with the Mark Jones at the Willis Street Foundation, with their golf charity, I would love to come back for that. So, there are hopes that all this will pass soon, and we'll get back to some sort of normalcy. We say normalcy, but being down here in Florida, nothing has really changed. We had high school sports, restaurants are open. We're at the beach every morning walking the dog. So, we've got an actual normal way of life down here. It's just unfortunate that the rest of the country hasn't fallen into that same category yet.
Speaking here with Dale Shackleford, a close friend and brother to me, and a Syracuse Orange basketball alum from 75 to 79. Dale, like you said, life is normal down in Florida. I'm going to be down there in just a couple of weeks, and I cannot wait. I did, when I was actually on ESPN Radio, 1080 The Team, when it was 1080 The Team down in Florida, I did a thing called Florida in Focus. And anything that I bring into my show, I never get rid of. It's always in my wheelhouse. And so when I come down for that week, I'm having Florida guests on in videos the whole time, and it's called Florida in Focus. I'd love for you to be a part of it, so we could talk about maybe doing something like that. But I'll be down there for the week, and I'm so excited to come down. You said life is functioning as normal. I just did a road trip with my buddy Evan, my best friend Evan, and so we took a road trip down. And we got to Florida, and everywhere else we were, people were wearing masks. We were in New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. We went from Maryland to Virginia, and then we went to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. And for the short time that I was in Florida, I was in Jacksonville, and it was the weirdest thing because all I've known for almost a year is wearing a mask. And when I got down to Jacksonville and I went to, we went and got some food before he dropped me off at the airport to fly home, there were people wearing masks in the restaurant and there were people that weren't. And, they were all standing in the same area. And it was like, this guy cared, this guy didn't. And so, and it kind of jarred me a little bit. I don't want to say jarred me, but it kind of made me kind of like question reality of like what's going on. And I forgot that Evan had told me that. He's like, yeah, he's like, when I go out, he's like, it's so surreal. Like some people are wearing masks, some people aren't. What can you say about how life is down in Florida, how some people wear them, some people don't, and the fact that Florida life has carried on? Governor Ron DeSantis has basically told the state of Florida, we're going to keep rocking and rolling, even though, cases have gone up at times, even though, different things have happened. What can you tell me about the state of Florida where you don't necessarily have to wear a mask and life has continued on, like you said, pretty normally?
Well, I think that, the state of Florida is giving people a choice. We have to go into stores and restaurants and that wearing a mask. And once you get in and you're seated and you're where you want to be, then you can take the mask off. If you're going to roam around and walk around, then they request you to wear a mask. It's like with our basketball team and at the school. We have to wear masks all the time. The kids, when they come in and out of the school buildings, they have to have a mask on. So for our basketball, the players are on the court playing. They don't have to wear masks, but the coaches and the players are sitting on the bench. We have to keep a mask on. And I think that with those and those protocols in place, I think that's helped us a lot. We have sanitizing machines, all over the gym. The kids have to do a survey every day to say that they haven't been in contact with anybody that had the coronavirus. They don't have a cold. They don't have a cough. They don't have a runny nose. These are surveys that have to do every day. If they check no or yes in any of those boxes, then their survey comes back red. They're not allowed to participate until they are checked out by doctors. So I think we're still cautious of the COVID situation, but we've got a lot of things in place that help us to keep running. And there are some schools here that their whole programs were shut down because of COVID. We've had to cancel 4 or 5 games this year. Well, actually, we had to cancel more than that because we usually play 28 games and we've only played 18. So, in saying that, we canceled 10 games this year because other programs and other schools had contracted the COVID in some way or another.
Yeah.
Had some contact there. So, and we've got teams in our district that's only played 5 or 6 games, and these kids are, they've been deprived of playing because of the same situation. So there are things in place to keep us from doing that. I mean, the beaches and stuff. You're outdoors, the wind's blowing, whatever. They feel that okay, you're safe in that situation. But there are people that walk the streets. I mean, the beaches and stuff. You're outdoors, the wind's blowing. We have to have a mask. Whatever. And they wear masks. But other than that, we're open, and I think the people here are handling it very well.
Yeah, and life goes on. You talked about the fact that, you have to wear masks as a coach, and, if something happens with another team, then you got to postpone things, you got to move things, you got to switch things around. Syracuse, as of this morning, is doing exactly that. Syracuse released literally right as I was getting ready to go on the air this morning, a few minutes before I went on the air this morning, we received the official word that Syracuse's game tonight against Louisville is going to be postponed due to the fact that Syracuse is, once again dealing with a team, not Syracuse, but another team that has a positive test. Once again, I read this before, but the official email sent out to us in the media says the Syracuse men's basketball game against Louisville, scheduled for Wednesday, February 3rd, has been postponed according to the ACC. The postponement follows a positive test, subsequent quarantining, and contact tracing within the Louisville men's basketball program. The team is adhering to the outlined protocols within the ACC Medical Advisory Group report, which is available on the ACC.com. The Syracuse Athletics Department continues to work closely with the Onondaga County Health Department, New York State public health officials, and the ACC Medical Advisory Group. The men's basketball team is adhering to all public health guidelines, and they will and do intend to play their game this Saturday on the road, February 6th, at Clemson at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Dale, it kind of what you were saying and what happened this morning is leading me into the fact that Syracuse men's and women's basketball has had to deal with positive tests and they've had to deal with corona either from them or from somebody else affecting their schedule. The men's team has had it, the women's team has had it, and it has caused us to have a lot of postponements and changes. Their game against Wake Forest on December 30th was postponed. January 6th against Florida State was postponed. January 12th against Clemson was postponed. And now this one against Louisville postponed here. And just what you can say about navigating through all this stuff and the fact that not only have you had to deal with it as a coach down in Florida, but your alma mater, Syracuse, has dealt with it numerous times for men's and women's basketball.
Well, I mean, it's a tough situation. Our coaching staff, and especially our head coach, Bill Mallon, he stresses to the kids every day. Be smart, stay away from a lot of situations that you're not familiar with. Make sure you wear a mask. Make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you social distance when you have to. And this is something that we do every day with the kids. Now, colleges, you have young adults. I mean, their mindset is a little bit different. They've got a little more freedom. They're not with their parents all the time and everything else. But you're a young adult. You have to realize that in order to keep participating in your sporting events, your work environment, and basically your everyday life, you have to take those precautions. And you can't go around holding people's hands. And you see it in professional athletes. You see it in just in people in general. We're not wearing masks and stuff down here in Florida or whatever, but you wear a mask where you're supposed to wear a mask. You always wash your hands and sanitize your hands. I'm very fortunate that with Crystal's job, they provide them with sanitizer to give to their clients and stuff like that. So we've got tons of sanitizer here at the schools and every place you go into. We have tons of sanitizer. We do the temperature check, the oxygen level check, the surveys and everything. But once you're away from that, you have to take the responsibility on yourself to make sure that you're safe and you're keeping your work environment and your teammates safe as well. And it's very difficult, especially with the college age kids. We feel that we're invincible to anything and everything, that we don't take those precautions, and we may hurt someone else. We may not hurt ourselves, we may hurt someone else. So. There again, I know that, every college and university and athletic department and the student body the presidents of the schools and all this, they're relaying that message daily to everyone also, and it's up to them to either you do it or you don't, and then you face the consequences when something happens.
Yeah, and that's been the world that we live in today. You brought up Crystal, and so I want to ask you, how's Crystal doing, and how's the new pup doing?
Well, Crystal's doing great. She's busy. This is a tough time of year for everybody. With the coronavirus, people tend to, drink more, do drugs more, and their mental stability is not there. So, that's where, she's busy working, trying to help those people regain some type of normalcy in that. And I think, with Charlie, our little golden doodle, he keeps us both grounded. He loves to play, loves to be outdoors, he loves to be in the water, and he's just fun to have around, and he keeps us going.
And having that, Dale, you decided amidst the craziness of coronavirus to make the move. Speak with me on that decision. Hindsight 2020, hindsight of 2020. It is in our rear view mirror, and the notion and the moniker that I think God created a long time ago, kind of setting us up for this without us even knowing that hindsight is 2020. So you made the decision to move in 2020. And what does hindsight look like of making that decision to, get your little golden doodle and to move with Crystal down to Florida?
Well, it was a thing where we were coming down to Florida. Probably Crystal and I've been together 3 years, and we've been coming down to Florida our first 2 years together, probably 3 times a year. And the last time we came down, we came down for the Syracuse Miami basketball game last year, and then we came down again the middle of June. And we stayed with Bernie for a couple weeks. We stayed with a couple friends up north in Port St. Lucie, and we just decided that on our flight home, why don't we just move to Florida? There was nothing to do with the coronavirus or anything like that, because it hadn't really affected us that bad, up in New York at the time. And we flew home on that Sunday, and we just said Tuesday we just packed the U-Haul, and Wednesday we were on the road. So, it was a situation where we felt that, if we didn't do it right now, we'd never do it. And there's no sense in keep talking about it, and then it never happened. So we decided that, let's make it real. Either we're going to do it or we're never going to do it. So, we decided that, hey, this is the right time for us, and it was good timing. And then she had to go to Tennessee for her son's son was born, her grandson. Yeah. And she decided that she'd surprise me, and she had already made plans to meet a friend from Kentucky to pick up Charlie. And we had pictures of him, and we seen him, and there was a point of, oh yeah, it's a cute dog, whatever. And next thing I know, I'm picking her up at the airport, and Charlie's with her. So that was a blessing in disguise, and it made our lives a lot better in Florida for that. Gives us a little more responsibility for him, and as I said before, being in touch with Bernie has helped me with a travel program over the summer, which was very nice. Roosevelt Gray, who was an AAU coach back in the 80s and that, and he has a program here now, and Bernie's known him for years. He had some players that Syracuse had recruited in the past, and him and Bernie were associated with each other. And I got to be on his travel team, and he took me to Georgia twice, up to South Carolina, Dallas. So it was a great experience. And through all of that, one of the kids we had, his high school coach used to come to our practice and stuff, and he was good friends with Bernie. And Bernie said, Dale, it'd be good for your program. And long and behold, Bill came up to me that day, and he says, we have a fall league that starts in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to be starting to work out the players next week. He goes, I'd love to have you, come along. And next, he says, you're hired on the spot. So, things have worked out well, And I'm grateful to Bernie. He's been a great friend of mine. Since 1976 when he became the assistant coach of Syracuse, and I've come down here to visit, as I said before, and things have been great. And I've got a couple friends here from England that I played basketball with, and I was friends with, and I hadn't seen in years, and they don't live far from me. And then one of my high school teammates, Ed Jacob, who him and I do a salt and pepper show on Facebook on Sundays.
Yeah.
He's only 2 miles up the road from me, and him and I hadn't seen each other in 40 years, so it worked out well. And as I said, Crystal's got a friend that lives up in Port St. Lucie, so we still have some friends here, and we've got friends all over the place. And like I said, it was the right time, and we're very glad that we did it. And we say to each other every day, it's the best move we've ever made, and every day's like a Saturday.
And speaking here with Dale Shackleford, my close friend and brother, Syracuse Orange basketball alum, 75 to 79. Dale, you and I have talked about a lot of stuff, and we've talked about calculated risks. We've talked about how do you know when something's right? How do you know when a relationship is worth it? How did you know that Crystal was just right, that the risk of going down to Florida was right? I mean, how did you know that it was the right thing to do? Because, it's just, I see you happy, and what every friend wants for any friend or anybody that you care about is to see somebody else happy when you truly care about somebody. And that's why I get happy, because you're happy. But how did you know that Crystal was the move? How did you know that Florida was the move? How did you figure it out and just know it? Because I think that's kind of the secret and the question of life is, how do you know when it's right?
Well, I've been in different relationships before, and I thought they were right, but they didn't work out that way. But I think with Crystal and I, we support each other in everything we do. She's very supportive of me with the basketball and what I'm doing, and then I've got some other ventures that that I'm involved in and stuff right now, and she supports me 100% in that, and I do the same for her with her job. When she first came to New York from Tennessee, I met her in a snowstorm at the Courtyard Marriott in Syracuse. I just happened to walk down to the bar after Dennis Duval's induction party the night before he got inducted, or he got his jersey retired at Syracuse. Roosevelt and I were staying at the Courtyard Marriott. I went downstairs to grab a beer, and she was at the bar having dinner and stuff, and we just started talking back and forth, and she asked me if I knew where Oneida County was, and I told her, well, I live in Oneida County. And she says, well, I'm trying to establish some relationships with my business and stuff that in that area. Do you know people that you can introduce me to that's in this business or in this field that I can possibly talk to? And I said, sure. So, about 10 days later, she calls me up, and, I drove her around Utica and to various places that needed to, get people into treatment and stuff like that. And then she ended up having territories all downstate, Westchester County, Orange County, Rockland, and that. And, I said, well, at the moment I'm not doing anything. I'll drive you and show you around. That way, you can see where you're at, see what's going on, and, get the lay of the land and stuff. And, one thing led to another, and, we became friends, and, I became her personal chauffeur for a while, and then, we decided, hey, let's take a vacation and go to Florida and visit some friends and hang out and relax. And, this is where we're at. And, she's very supportive of me down here in Florida with my, basketball and the other things I'm involved in. And, I still support her in what she does. She's up in New York and that a lot, and Pennsylvania and stuff. So, things worked out well. And, we enjoy being with each other, and we don't complain about anything that the other one does or the other one has to do. If one's busy, then the other one's waits patiently and takes care of everything else and takes Charlie out for his walks, and we just enjoying life. We're all on the downslide. I think we've reached our peak, and now we're on a downslide as far as hopefully to retire comfortably and enjoy the rest of our lives.
and again, as a friend and as I consider you a brother in my family. I'm so happy that this is that, like, Dale Shackleford, of everything from the day I met you to now. That you have that woman in your life, that you have Charlie, that you have your friends around you from England, for goodness sakes, and that you're doing a show down there and staying with that, and that you're coaching. I think this is like the best version of Dale Shackleford I've seen to date, and I hope it only gets better from here.
Well, I've been very fortunate. As I said, the friends I have here from England and that, he's shown me around to, different places and introduced me to various people and stuff that, got involved in some business ventures with me and that. And, always with, Bernie Fine, actually, he just called a little while ago while we were on the show. And, he's always constantly in touch with me, always, interested in what I'm doing, looking to see if I need help in any way. And, all these friends are, still here with me. And as I said, with Eddie from high school, once we got together, actually he helped us find the place where we live right now. He does a little real estate business on the side and everything, and he found this place for us. And, we're grateful with that. And in saying that, I met a kid, Simeon, that was good friends with Bernie Fine's son, Dave. He came out to work Syracuse basketball camp, and, he's been a very good friend to me, and we came down here and he helped us get around and find places to look at, to live and everything. So all that comes full circle. All that comes with people being genuine friends, and and that's what friends are for. Regardless if it's something little as far as calling you on the phone and saying, do you know where such and such is, or do you know where I can find different things at? That's what friends are for. And all these guys have been, a part of my life for years, and they're still a part of my life now. It's like with you, Dan. The day we met through Gary Barnaba at the Syracuse basketball camp, I can say that I have a assist to you for a 3-point basket in the Carrier Dome.
Yeah.
That nobody can say that they're 100% as a team, and you and I are 100%.
And that's a beautiful, and I love that you remember that, because I always wanted to, as a kid growing up, I always wanted to play on the court. I always wanted to play for Syracuse, wear my number 21, and, as a lot of kids I'm sure have the dream. And I remember the basketball had bounced off the court, and I was on the actual court. I was on the Jim Boeheim court, and because there was different courts set up there. I was on the main one there where we see, 30,000 plus fans around it in the dome. And the ball bounced out, and it went to you, and I put my hands out and said, hey, Dale, can you pass it? And you passed it to me. It took one bounce. I caught it, and I said, I have to make this shot. If I don't make that, if this is a shot, I have to make this shot. And I turned my body, and I let it go, and it went in, and that's when I said to you, I was like, you now have one more assist on your stat sheet. And so I think it's really cool that you remember that, because we are 100% Dale, and we knew when to retire on the court together. So.
Yeah, and if you would have missed that shot, I would have never passed to you again.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? You always told Rosie to pass you the ball, so I feel that very much, and so I made the shot. We're 100%, and I think that is a true testament to the 100% that we put into our friendship. So.
That's right.
Go ahead. So, I think the biggest thing to take away from today, before we jump into your basketball really quick, is, that friendship between you and Jim DaRin. You and Jim and your friendship with Jim DaRin, your friendship with me, your friendship with Bernie, these cyclical things of coming together. Jim has never forgotten what you've done for him. I don't forget what you've done for me. You didn't forget what Bernie did for you, and then Bernie helped to do again. This conversation of friendship and how beautiful it is, and like you said, true friends, people helping you find your house, being in situations where you could, being in a situation where you could meet Crystal and everything that came from that. Friends always end up building bridges to the best pieces of our lives and some of the greatest moments of our lives. So just what you can say from Jim DaRin to Bernie Fine to, what you and I have, the importance of friendship in your life and how it really does. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, it definitely is, and as I said, I happened to see Jim on Facebook quite a few times, and then I saw the article that he had in the newspaper in Syracuse and I reached out to him and said, hey, here's my phone number. Can you send me a copy of the article? And I'll be in touch with you soon. So that was a blessing in disguise that I happened to see that, and I was able to reach out to Jim and rekindle a friendship that we had years ago. And I'm glad that he's doing well. I'm glad he's got a very loving and happy family. And as I said before, with Bernie, Bernie treats us all like family. I had Bernie on my show last week, and he says we're all in his family, and every player that he's ever coached and everyone that he's had any ties with, he still has great love for and he cares about. And with my friend Dave from England, Dave and I'm going to honestly say, if it wasn't for Dave, I probably wouldn't have stayed there that long, because he became a true friend where he reached out to me, he took me places and showed me around the country, and showed me different things in England and stuff, and turned me on to all sorts of different food and everything. So, we became friends, and him and I drank a lot of beer together at that time too. So, that was one of the things that we did. And now, I see him here in England, and with Dave. He called me one time. He got in touch with me one time when I was living in Arizona. He introduced me to a friend of his. We became friends, and him and I drank a lot of beer together at that time too. So that was basically how one of the things that we did, and now reconnected with each other. I see him here in England, and with Dave. He called me one time, or he got in touch with me one time when I was living in Arizona, and he introduced me to a friend of his that I hadn't seen him in a while. So, long story short, we reconnected down here in Florida. When I basically Dave and I come down and visit Florida, we'd always reconnected with each other, because I hadn't seen him the last time. We were here back in June 6th or so when I was living in Arizona. I decided, hey. And he came up. This is where we should be. So, I hadn't seen him in a while. So, long story short, we reconnected in that sense. I want to, when I work on my golf, to come down and visit Florida, we'd always get together. Fortunately or unfortunately, the last time I had it, we didn't do that because I got involved in the basketball down here, and that takes up a lot of my time right now. But this is where we should be. We're starting to wind down. We don't want it to end. We've got our district playoffs. I want to work on my golf game. Starting next week, so we're hoping that we can go far in both of these, and I'll worry about golf in another month or so.
Yeah, and and that's a beautiful thing. And the final note here, Dale, just to speak on your team and let everybody know you're an assistant coach and where you're coaching, what you're doing, and how the team has been, because we know that the playoffs, the new season essentially, is starting right now.
Yeah. I'm very fortunate. I'm at a very good Catholic school, Cardinal Gibbons, in Fort Lauderdale. It's about a 25-minute drive for me every day to practice and games. But it's a nice group of kids, nice bunch of coaches. I think we have the biggest coaching staff in the state as far as high school is concerned. We have 7 coaches. Head coach, and then we've got 6 assistant coaches, but 2 of the guys, one coached the freshman team and one coached the JV team, but they're all part of the program. And at the moment, we're a small team, but we're scrappy defensively, and that's my specialty for the team. Is that I work defensively with the kids and everything, and we amassed a 15-3 record. We could be 18-0, but that's besides the point. The kids are playing well. They're working hard. We just had our last regular season game on Monday, and we won by 30 points, and we sent our 2 seniors off after that game. And I think right now the kids understand, and they realize that they've got something special here that they can do for the school and for themselves, and that's tonight, starting our district playoffs. and they're happy as can be. They hadn't been in the state tournament in a while, and we're qualified for the states for next week. So we know we've made a lot of progress. Our team is young. As I said, we only have 2 seniors. We've got 3 juniors, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. And our younger players are the ones that are our biggest factors in a lot of our games. And we're just hoping that the kids can learn something from this and have a great experience, and continue to be involved in sports and their respective communities.
That coming from Dale Shackleford as you keep things going at Cardinal Gibbons. Awesome school and a great experience for you, Dale Shackleford, doing that as well as being a friend of Jim DaRin and bridging the gap. Dale, and I know you said you don't do anything for a pat on the back, but it really says something about you when Jim and I can come up to an immediate memory of something that describes the type of human being that you are. So thank you for what you've done for Jim. Thank you for what you've done for me, and for what you continue to do and work to do for these kids, and for your pup, for Crystal, for your friends, and obviously for yourself. You are an amazing addition to my life that happened years ago, and I'll keep it forever. And I look forward to hopefully being able to sit down with you soon. But like I said, that Florida in Focus special that I have coming up, would love for you to be a part of it. And as always, you're a part of my life, and you're somebody that I think of very fondly. So we're never too far away, no matter how far we are, and I know that you know that.
Yeah, I appreciate everything, and before we get off, I just think that I'm not a very religious person or anything like that, but I think this is what my parents hoped for me, and this is what God put me on this earth to do, and I just want to continue to do that work, and hopefully it keeps going for the better.
Yeah, and Jim just wrote to you Forever Orange, and I know that you know that.
Yes, always.
So
and Jim, I will reach out to you in another day or two. I don't want to bombard you with a lot of stuff, right now, and I know you got a lot going on, and I've got a lot going on right now, but I will definitely be in touch.
That coming from Dale Shackleford to Jim DaRin here, who is watching and listening with us this morning. Dale, as always, thank you, and I love you, brother, so I'm sending all that positivity down to you, and I hope to see you soon.
And Dan, thank you very much, and don't forget, when you come down to Florida, give me a call, and we'll definitely make arrangements to get together.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. That coming from Dale Shackleford, and like I said, that's a member of my family. To me, that's my brother. We became friends, and then I told you that story about what he did the day that I wasn't feeling well, and he went above and beyond what a typical human being would do. And with all of that, truly signifies who I thought he was, and who he truly is. And he is a great friend, and he's a brother. So, to my family member, thank you. And to all that he brings to Jim DaRin's life, and has brought to Jim's life. And Jim, you heard him, he'll call you. So hold him to it. But I know Dale will. And, it's just cool to see people like Jim DaRin and Dale Shackleford. I mean, you never know who you're going to meet in life, and my goal on my show is to talk to as many former Syracuse players. I like to talk to the future, the current, and the past players on the teams. And, never in a million years did I think I would have the relationships I have with Dale Shackleford and Gene Waldron and Jim DaRin and Roosevelt Bowie and Rob Drummond and Michael Owens and Billy Owens and John Wallace and Otis Hill and Jerry McNamara and Adrian Autry and Alan Griffin and obviously the relationship I have with Buddy Boeheim, Jerome Smith, Prince Tyson Gully, Jay Brownlee, Todd Philcox, and Kyle McIntosh, Ian McIntosh, Rob Conrad, and obviously Floyd Little in heaven, and that list goes on and on and on and on and on and on, and Trevor Cooney, Demetrius Nichols. I don't even know how to say thank you the way Jim Jerome now, and I don't know how to say thank you enough to the fact that this little kid that grew up in Syracuse, New York, that watched all these players and read about history and learned about history, and now, I get to make history on my own show for my own company that is my baby, to wake up on Wake Up Call under Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, to be my own boss, to have God above me, and be able to talk to these people on my show and build these connections that become friendships that last a lifetime. You can't pen a better story than the one that I get to live every day. And that's why I don't work. I don't ever feel like I'm working. I just feel like I'm talking to friends and making a life out of it. So, you want to know if chasing your dreams counts? It does. You want to know if it can happen? It can. You want to know if life can be the beautiful thing that you want to be? It will. And if you're willing to fight for it, you'll get it. So, there's a lot to be said about what we have and where we're going. And shout out to all my people here, and Mr. Gene Waldron, who joined us here and said good morning. Said Dale is a great guy, one of Syracuse's best for sure, and you are truer than true on that, Mr. Gene Waldron. So, with that being said, we'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and we will be back right after this fast break with plenty more coming up, including talk on the big game that's also happening in Florida this weekend. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're also listening, and where you're watching and listening on YouTube. Hello, people. youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, and the Facebook, facebook.com/livenowdt. We are going to end this video, as you know, every Wednesday, or maybe you don't know, every single Wednesday, hour number 2 becomes its own video because Mike and I go into fantasy football over these last few years, and it's become such a huge part of what I do on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So we have to essentially make it a new video every time. So just so you know, we're going to end this video, start a new one, and we implore you to join us over there. So for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, stick with us because we're coming back.